Imagine waking up one day and something fundamental about the world has changed. The air, the thing you've never seen, never thought about, is suddenly visible. Not metaphorically, literally. Every atom, every molecule, every swirl of gas that fills every corner of your existence, exposed. You open your eyes, and the world is no longer made of shapes and objects, but of motion. Air moves like liquid light, flowing, twisting, colliding in endless patterns. You try to breathe, and for the first time you see what that means. A glittering stream of molecules rushing toward you, entering your mouth, your lungs, your bloodstream. At first it's mesmerizing, a slow living dance of transparency. But beauty quickly becomes horror, because when you finally see the air, you realize you've been living inside a storm your whole life. Everywhere you look, the air pulses and bends like waves. Sunlight scatters in every direction, no longer clean or clear. It's as if the entire planet has been submerged under an invisible ocean, and now, suddenly, you're seeing it for the first time. Each breath you take is visible, a luminous mist that swirls around your face, merging with the flow of the world. When you exhale, you release a cloud of carbon dioxide, heavier, darker, swirling downward like smoke in reverse. Science has always said the air weighs something, about 1 kilogram pressing on every square centimeter of your skin. But now you can see it pressing, pushing, wrapping around your body like a second skin. You wave your hand, and ripples spread across the invisible sea. You walk, and the air folds around you, trailing your movements like water around a swimmer. You finally understand why sound travels. Every word, every whisper, creates shockwaves through this dense medium. You see your voice move, rings of vibration spreading from your mouth, expanding, merging, bouncing off the walls. The air isn't just what you breathe, it's a living structure that connects everything, an invisible web made visible. You step outside, and for a moment, your brain can't process what it's seeing. The sky, the blue you thought was emptiness, is now an endless field of layers. Currents of gas flow like rivers across the atmosphere. You see wind shear in real time, sheets of air colliding, breaking, curling around buildings and trees. When a car drives by, it doesn't just move. It drags behind it a long, glowing wake of disturbed molecules, stretching for meters before fading. Birds cut through the turbulence, leaving behind trails that spiral and vanish. Every raindrop carves a tunnel of pressure through the air. It's beautiful chaos, but it's also suffocating. You can see heat. You can see breath. You can see every source of pollution, dark plumes rising from factories, exhaust pipes, even your own body. The earth, for the first time, looks alive and sick. At night, city lights scatter endlessly. Each beam of light bounces through trillions of visible particles, glowing fog filling every street. The stars are gone. The air reflects its own complexity back at you, a shimmering, restless skin covering the planet. And for the first time you understand, the only reason life feels peaceful is because we don't see what surrounds us. Days pass. Your body starts to change how it feels the world. You can't stop seeing movement. Even the smallest vibration, your own heartbeat, the twitch of a leaf, the breath of another person, sends waves through your vision. Your eyes ache, overwhelmed by too much information. Every molecule of air colliding, separating, reforming. Billions of interactions per second. Your brain was never built for this. You start to realize how fragile our perception really is, how our eyes and brains filter reality to keep us sane. Without that filter, the world becomes chaos. You try to sleep, but you can see the air moving even in the dark, glowing faintly from heat, drifting in constant motion. You can see your breath rise and vanish into the ceiling. You can even see the carbon dioxide gathering near the floor, denser, like invisible fog. And in those long nights, another thought creeps in. What if life wasn't supposed to see the medium it exists in? What if our blindness to the air is what allows consciousness to focus on meaning? not noise. Weeks later, scientists begin studying this new phenomenon. They call it atmospheric transparency shift, a sudden change in the refractive index of gases that makes them visible to the human eye. But they're not sure why it happened. Some claim it's a quantum phase change triggered by solar radiation. Others believe it's neurological, that the human brain itself evolved overnight to perceive what was once invisible. And then, the real horror begins. Animals start panicking. Birds collide mid-air, blinded by the chaos of visible wind. Predators can no longer hunt. The air distorts every outline. Ecosystems begin to collapse. Even humans struggle. Driving becomes impossible. Listening light refracts unpredictably through dense air currents. Planes stay grounded. People begin wearing blackout visors, trying to block the overwhelming sight of the world in motion. But there are also those who embrace it. Artists paint with color patterns of air density. Scientists use their eyes as instruments, tracking airflows once invisible. And philosophers ask, maybe this was always the truth, hidden behind the illusion of emptiness. Then, one morning, just as suddenly as it began, it's gone. The air turns invisible again. The world feels wrong at first. Too clean, too quiet. You walk outside. You wave your hand, expecting ripples, but see nothing. The sky is blue once more. For a moment, you miss it. The chaos, the beauty, the constant motion. But then, something settles in your mind. A strange comfort. You know it's still there. Every molecule, every current, every wave of breath. You just can't see it anymore. And maybe that's the way it should be. Because sometimes, the only way to survive reality is not to see all of it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this impossible journey, subscribe to Never Possible for more explorations beyond human experience. And remember, some things aren't just unimaginable, they are never possible.